Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's bar and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too. And many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice pianist string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. They're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yet controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression, so remember you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Elena if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Elena's Bar in the Resurgence of Sanity. How are you doing, Steve, today?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. Well, it looks like it's just you and me today. Nick and Plutarch are not going to join us, and we are going to talk about my fantasy list. We are going to talk about the important conditions that are necessary, in my opinion, in the prenuptial agreement, okay? And feel free to share your thoughts and observations, share your experiences with us in regards to this list of things that I would like to include in the prenuptial agreement. I think that all men should include this list when they decide to get married. They should have a prenuptial agreement, right, Steve? Well, ideally,
Yes.
Ideally the laws would be on their side, so they wouldn't have to worry about it. But we don't live in an ideal world, so yeah.
Okay. First of all, your list is completely impractical.
Well, I know, but that's kind of the point, you know. So because it's so impractical, then men shouldn't get married because they can't include all of those things in the agreement. I mean, you know, these are good things, and I didn't come up with all of those things by myself. I wrote some of those things after talking to you guys.
True.
So, shall we get into it?
Okay.
Okay. So, the first point here is that she brings dowry. The bigger her social media account, the number of simps there, the higher her body count, credit card debt, and student loan, the higher her dowry. Okay, and here I give you the approximate calculation. How would you calculate dowry? Well, if you charge her $100 per simp that she has on her social media account, it should be okay. And then $50,000 per body count. It should be expensive, you know, so that women think twice before spreading their legs. And then plus your student loan, plus your property mortgage, credit card debt, anything that she has there should be included in the dowry. Whatever the negative dowry is, this is the amount that she needs to cover herself. And then traditionally, her family would prepare a sum that would go to the husband, So if we just, if she just covers all of those expenses plus the emotional damage that might come out from all of those sims that are supporting her and encouraging her and guessing her up on social media. What do you think, Steve? It's a pretty reasonable number.
You realize that, okay, first of all, in case no one's figured out, Elena hates simps. She detests simps. There's a visceral hatred here. And it really greatly disturbs her when women are out there and they have orbiters or simps. So she wants to penalize those women, but because those simps are just, you don't want them around. She doesn't want simps around her. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so that's going to cost you money in dowry. Okay. Fine, I think that's impractical, but okay. Now the last one. Oh, she totals up her student loan, her mortgage, and credit card debt. Those are all debts. And so she has to give her husband, future husband, the money to pay for those debts, which means the asset, the pluses and minuses zero out. So she doesn't really provide any dowry for those. All she's doing is...
You said that it's impractical at the beginning. It's not actually as impractical.
Okay, so the only thing she's actually she's responsible for her premarital debts, and she has to pay him for the number of orbiters around her.
Yeah, and for your body count. Cheap. Yeah, I know. This is doable, ladies. This is doable.
So if she has, okay, think about this, Elena. Do you mean that if she has zero simps around her and she has zero debt, there is no dowry?
Well, she still has to pay for her promiscuity and high body count.
Okay. She has zero simps, a body count of zero. She has zero debt. Therefore, her dowry would be zero.
Her dowry would reduce. It still would be there. Okay?
Oh, what would it be according to your formula?
Well, my formula only calculates her negative dowry. You add the actual dowry. Depends on how much your family was able to save. And I don't know. Actually, we probably need to invite Shah on to tell us what was dowry based on, to talk about how do we come up with a solid number for dowry. But I've watched his live streams, and even then he talked about how much dowry should a woman provide for so many simps, or she's very promiscuous, she had super high body count, like would 3 million be enough? It's just something to offset your negative dowry, because back then in history, right, women were coming. This is actually what I'm proposing here is not a bad deal for women. It might look big and everything, but considering the damage that women come with, it's really not that bad, ladies. So historically, a woman was coming clean. She had no body count, right? She had no stupid student loan, no property mortgage, no credit card debt, because no banks were issuing her the credit cards, and nobody was giving her the money. The money didn't touch the woman. It was coming from one man, from her husband, from her father to her husband. Okay, so it was all benefits for the upcoming family. right now, if she covers her expenses, plus in addition to that, she gives some dowry. I don't know how to calculate dowry, actually. I'm just here providing the example of like negative dowry, how we can zero it out. Plus, in addition, if your family pays additional price, that would only serve to the future couple's benefit.
Yeah, okay. Let's start with a principle here.
Mm-hmm.
The principle is that when a man marries a woman, she benefits because she gains a provider
Mm-hmm.
and a man to support her, to have children with her, to provide for her future needs, housing, food, and provide for her future offspring. Okay, so she's getting a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's getting benefits too. Okay, but just on the financial side, she's gaining financial benefits. Traditionally, a dowry came into play because it's recognizing the fact that a man is taking a risk and accepting obligations when he gets married.
Mm-hmm.
So traditionally, a dowry was provided to the man to allow him to set up their life, maybe buy a house, invest in his business so he can provide. So his in-laws, her parents, would provide money for the couple to get a start on life in order to establish themselves and establish the husband to provide for their daughter and have grandchildren. And everybody kind of needs a step up when they're first starting out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the reason for the dowry. And in our modern world, since the risk of divorce is so high, the man absolutely should mitigate his risk by she or her family putting some money in, having some skin in the game, in case she divorces him, he's not left with an obligation without a wife. If she leaves and he still has the obligation, that's baloney. So first of all, the dowry is a mitigation of risk, period.
Yeah.
Then if has acquired debt or psychological debt from body count, abortion, social, just her attitude, her simps. Okay, that's additional risk that's added on. The husband is seeing additional risk from this woman. Risk is mitigated by having her put more money in.
Yes.
So that's the principle here. So
yeah, the principle is there should be a set number, a set amount of dowry that is provided by her family to the husband, plus all of these negative costs that she has acquired. Right. She has to cover. Her family has to cover for that.
It should be 1 year of average income.
Okay.
So what's that for? Well, that's about $50,000 to $60,000. Just start out, 50 to 60 grand. That is transferred from her side of the family into his account. Now he is steward of that money. It's not so he can go buy a new sports car.
Yeah.
That is down payment.
Well, I don't even think, Steve, I don't think that would be enough, like 50 to 60. You can't buy a house. You can't buy anything with money.
I said that's a starting amount. That's a minimum amount. Okay, that is enough to do a down payment on a house. Maybe not entirely. Okay, fine. 50 grand, it's in your account. He should have had some savings and he will be providing and earning money. Okay, now they need to save money. They need to live cheaply. he should be able to save $10,000, $15,000 a year. So in 3 years, they'll have $100,000 in the bank. Okay, now the average house is $400,000. Okay, you can put 25% down. We are in the realm of reasonable here. It takes that amount of money to get set up. So at the very minimum, a $50,000, $60,000 payment, cash dowry transfer payment, plus, okay, now she's got $30,000 in student loans. And, oh, she has a house. Well, if she's given that equity in the house to him, okay, you know, that could be an offset here. But, oh, she has a card debt or credit card debt, auto loan debt or credit card debt. That's added on top. So let's say she owes another $40,000 in debt. Now, all of a sudden, that $60,000 goes from 60 to 100. But it's still $60,000 because the negatives offset the positive. So basically, your net worth, you know, you owe 50 or you owe 40 and you have 40 here, they equal out and zero out.
Yeah.
But basically, you have to have this financial discussion about, okay, how are we going to establish our life?
Yeah. I
And
included...
okay, one more thing. If she expects the wedding to cost $25,000, that doesn't come out of this money. That she pays for that, or her father.
Your parents,
pays for it,
your
traditionally.
parents
So
pay for the
that's
wedding,
not his expense at all. It's not his obligation, because you know what? The guy should say, well, okay, I'm willing to marry you. We'll go down. Okay, now I'm not advocating a civil legal marriage. I'm not advocating that. But if you're going to do that, you can go down to the courthouse, get married, get the license, and get married for $200-$300. Okay, so that's if you want to be married, we can do it this way. If you want this Cinderella wedding, you can foot the bill, because guys don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, it's usually women. Women are the ones who want a big ceremony and party and take beautiful pictures and videos to show to their friends on social media or family. They are the ones who want the big celebration. Yeah. So everything that comes out of like wedding expense, it should be paid by her family. Yeah. All of that extra stuff that she wants. Now, her family has to contribute something into the upcoming marriage. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next point. Okay, so here I pointed out we
can't move on.
Why not?
Nope. We're still on financial.
Okay.
Before marriage, you need the man needs to get this laid out. What is our lifestyle going to be? Okay. Here's our 5-year plan. We're going to buy a house. We're going to have kids. We need money in the bank. We're going to plan for this. We need a house. We need to have kids. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to live below our means. We are going to save this amount of money each year. If you work, you're going to contribute this amount of money. If I work, or a man should work, I'm going to contribute this amount of money. That comes first. There are no exotic vacations. We're not budgeting for that. We're not budgeting for a new car in the $60,000 to $70,000 or $100,000 range. No. And if you have an expensive car and an $800 a month car payment, nope, that's not flying. Nope. And no, there's going to be no monthly cost of $100 for your hair minimum. It's often more. And your nails and your spa days and Starbucks every day. Okay, we got to figure out how we're going to live. Now, how often are we going to go out to eat? Now, are you going to cook? No, we're not going to blow $500 a week or on entertainment. We're not doing that. We're budgeting $200, $400 a month. Okay, depending on your means. Just figure it out and have that discussion before you get married, because otherwise she thinks she's signing up for her dream life, and guess what? You get to pay for it because you're the man.
Well, it's better if you put it all in writing, all of those discussions and agreements, all of those conditions that she agrees upon beforehand.
Right,
You
yeah.
discuss them and put them all in writing so that it's clear. The conditions are set forth clear for the upcoming marriage. And
Right.
yeah, she will have to do her own hair. She will have to do her own nails. She will have to do her own spa if she wants
Now,
all of those things.
if he makes a lot of money and he wants to provide that and he thinks he's getting a trophy wife, well, guess what? A trophy wife has higher maintenance costs.
Well, Steve, it's not. This kind of agreement is not for the guys who, who have a lot of money to waste and then they just don't care or something. It's for average people, average men who are likely to be destroyed, who are the ones who...
It is for every man. And you set the limits according to your means. Every man should do this, even if he's a millionaire.
Well, millionaires...
A woman's capacity to spend can easily exceed any man's capacity
but
to
you
earn,
just say that
even if you earn $1 million a year.
If he gets a trophy wife, then he can, in general, okay, guys, in general, this agreement is the millionaires, they usually can afford the best lawyers out there, who will preserve their interests, who will fight for them. They have the money to waste, they have a lot of money that they can spend on a wife. Yeah, usually most men, they don't have, they have limited amount of resources, and they have to be very, very smart. They have to be more careful than those men in some ways who have the money. So yeah. Well, are we done? Have we covered the financial aspect of it? Yeah, everything financial has to be explicitly written out and discussed beforehand. So here, another point, if she owns a business before marriage, she puts her man in charge of business where he's being paid by a business to take care of business decisions. So it's in case she wants to be like a stay-at-home mom, and she has a business running. Yeah, you can't serve two gods, you can't be a stay-at-home mom and a business fempreneur or whatever. You can only do one thing well. Okay, if you want to raise your kids with this man, then you have to give up your business.
Well, I kind of disagree here.
Why?
Because this is an asset that she has that she's bringing into the marriage. So principle. Okay, hold on. What's the principle here? My principle is whatever you have before you come in the marriage, you can leave the marriage with. And that's not the only principle, but that is a principle. So if she's bringing in a business, that's an asset on her side. Mm-hmm. And that can be used to offset some of the dowry.
Well, Steve.
Definitely becomes joint property at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But that quantity, that financial asset, she doesn't have to entirely just give that to the husband. Now you're conflating this with future. If she wants to stay home, well, then she still has a financial obligation to provide. And then maybe he should own more of the business because she's not contributing at that point.
Well, okay. What most women own, what kind of business they own? It's social media business. Do they
Yeah.
really need to be on social media shaking their butts when they are married, and they would better be home with their kids, taking care of kids and helping their husbands?
Yeah. Okay.
Most
I
women
agree.
today, like most of the businesses that women own, it's social media based.
That doesn't
It
matter.
does
You
it
still
bring
apply that.
does it bring, like, who brings the money? Okay, what do they do there? Like advertising, right? Maybe.
It doesn't matter. It's taken care of.
Yeah, well, but then by that logic, you allow her to be a public figure.
No.
Okay, she
No.
wants to have a
No.
business.
No.
She
No.
wants to have a business. She can, let me finish, please. She wants to have a business. She wants to be a stay-at-home mom and be a fempreneur, like a lot of them do today. That invites open relationship into the marriage.
Okay. Handle one thing at a time. It's simple. The business is her business. Now, he certainly has other boundaries. You can't be gallivanting around the internet. You can't be showing off and gathering simps and doing it for attention. No, that's just a flat ass no. If that's your business, you got to shut it down, because I'm not having my wife out there doing that kind of crap to the world. It's not happening. So that means your business is worthless. And then it's not even a point. You can have your business, your worthless business, but you can't do that crap.
Okay, so if that business doesn't involve her being on social media, then she can have it. She can keep doing it. But then if it does involve social media, then she's not allowed to do that. She's not allowed to keep that business if she wants marriage.
Right. And it becomes a marital asset. And you got to discuss who owns the assets. How are the assets going to be shared and used once they come in, once a couple gets married? If he has a business, how is he protecting that business from divorce? Okay, if she comes in with a business, how is she protecting that business in a divorce? Okay, those are legitimate concerns. Now, the other factor is, how is the profits from the business going to be used within the marriage? Do the profits get to be retained by the person who owned the business prior to marriage? Or are they brought in to support the marriage? You got to figure out roles and duties and who's doing what here.
Yeah.
And where the obligations and responsibilities and benefits are.
Yeah. Well, the next point is, whatever property and assets a man acquires before, during, or after marriage, they stay with the man in case of divorce.
Okay. Same thing has to apply to the woman.
Okay.
It has to. Otherwise, there's no consideration and the contract is invalid. It has to, principles have to equally apply to both parties.
To both parties, yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Well, I'm sure that the lawyers will benefit. We are looking at it from male perspective, what would benefit men, but yes, same things would be applicable to a woman then. Okay. She fulfills her wifely duties without question. Let's scroll down.
Okay.
So here are her wifely duties. They are not, don't commingle them with business, with assets. These are additional duties. Indy, quiet. I'm sorry, guys. My dog is, I don't know what's going on today. Hold on. Steve, can you read them? I'll be right back.
Okay, she gives up her social media. No social media account anywhere. No virtue signal. No simps. She has no single girlfriends. She cooks, she cleans. Oh, enthusiastic sexual variety. Okay, well, let's start out with that first one. Elena, do you have any social media accounts?
Yes.
Oh, guess you're not wife material.
My husband has access to all of my social media.
Oh, okay.
I
So
do
it's
it.
not a
I
hard
do,
no.
well, I do it under his supervision, and he basically tells
Oh,
me what to say and what not to
okay,
say.
that's fine. That's not
Yeah.
what it said here. You wrote
Yeah.
something that you're not
Well, but
following.
if my husband was to ask me, give up your social media, I would, because when I married him, I didn't have it for 10 years before I even found my husband. I didn't have social media. I
Okay,
wasn't on social
you are
media.
you are arguing something that is not the point. The point is you said no, can't have them, but then you have them. And now you're qualifying it and justifying it. So
Mhm.
so you can't put a hard and fast rule and then not follow the rule and say, well, my case is different. You have to write down why your case is different and
Okay, I'm
allow
going to
those differences
adjust
elsewhere.
this point. We can say that only, well, I don't even know then how would you phrase it then? Only women who comply with their husbands are allowed to say the things that their husbands want to say publicly on social media.
Uh, it's simple. He has access to all your social media accounts and
Okay.
can determine where they are. For instance, TikTok. Do you have a TikTok account?
No.
No. Do you think it's a good idea for a husband to forbid his wife from having a TikTok account?
Yes.
Okay, so he gets to decide her social media. I think that's what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
So now this touches on a sore point for feminists. But who is he that he gets to control me? We are equals. If he gets to see my social media account, I get to see his because we're equals. Well, no, you're not equal. That points
But
to
okay,
a
Steve, financially, see, this is where the mismatch is coming. Financially, if she's working and she brings money, maybe in some cases even more money than he has, or equal money, they immediately think that, but I'm equal, I'm bringing equal amount of value, I have my own business, I have my own this is why I was saying that she ideally would give up her business to her husband. And I've seen cases of that where a woman, she she is taking care of kids, and traditionally also, if you look into history or whatever, like business, her father, let's say he was dying or something bad happened, the business would go to, if he didn't have sons, it would go to the husband of his daughter. It wouldn't touch the woman, she wouldn't be involved in business. Yeah, she would help. She would do the subordinate role there, like helping and facilitating things, but she wouldn't be in charge of business. Because
yeah.
when we involve money, women immediately equate, but I bring similar value, I bring similar. How come I'm supposed to listen to him? Because under the money spectrum, I'm in charge. I come not empty. I bring value. I bring assets. Like I have my own business. Doesn't matter what the business is, right? Could be
Right.
anything. So based on that logic, then of course, if
That's not logic. What's the principle? What's the principle you're proposing? It's simple. You're proposing a principle of equality is determined by contribution. That's your argument.
Okay.
There's a simple way. What's the principle here? The man is the head of the wife. Okay, fine. We're not equal. The man gets to decide. So, okay, she has assets that come in. Her family leaves her a family business. Fine, great. Now that comes into the family, to him and his wife, as a joint asset.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean it's jointly administered. He is the steward of that asset on behalf of the family, on behalf of her. He is responsible to himself. He is responsible to his children. He is responsible to God. He is responsible for her future well-being to administer that asset for joint benefit. Now, if the marriage dissolves, she's still half in control or has half the benefit of that asset. In the point of dissolving the marriage. But in running that business, generally the man should be the steward and making the decisions.
Yeah, but see, will she allow him to make decisions in her business? Will she allow him to control her social media and everything? Because in her mind, if she brings some money, she's in charge of money, and then women are conflating. Women are the ones who are conflating. But and there are men who do that too. Like, well, but she is self-fulfilled woman or whatever you want to call them, right? She built her career. She has the money. She has the resources, so she gets to demand the rules.
She can demand whatever the hell she wants to demand. This is a prenuptial discussion. And if she has that attitude, the guy says, yeah, doesn't
Not
work
interested.
for me.
Yeah.
Not interested. Forget it. Call off the whole thing.
Yeah, because
I mean, it's a negotiation. Mm-hmm. She can demand whatever she wants. He can demand whatever he wants. Now, she's not going to see things the way he does. She's not going to apply principles. She's not going to be able to negotiate this on a fair, equitable basis according to principles. It's not in her nature to do that. Therefore, they each need attorneys to do it, or possibly you better involve her father in this negotiation, because a man can never negotiate with a woman because she won't stick to the facts. She'll combine other things, but I feel this and this has to come in. Okay, no. We handle each of these according to principles, and we set down the principles, and we just apply the principles.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I'm so sorry. My dog is really not behaving today. I don't know what's wrong with him. Quiet. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, historically, a woman, even if her family owned business and I was passing from one generation to the next, she wouldn't be in charge of any business decisions. Her husband would make those decisions, and she would be like helping him, supporting him, staying at home, even if she came with money. Like a lot of women today, I have my own money, right? But the idea is like, what's mine is mine, and what's his is also mine. So yeah, you have to be careful. Why I bring up these points? Because like ideally, a lot of men even today, they don't want to deal with women who have their own businesses and stuff, because it's a lot of work. Honestly, it's a lot of legal work, a lot of like negotiation back and forth, and like who is paying for what are your roles, and then good luck getting these women in their place. When they say like, well, I want to be like a stay-at-home mom and also be a fempreneur and do all of those things. It's like, no, you can't do all of that. but they want to do all of that.
Why do men avoid those women? It's quite simple. She's got this mental attitude of entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks, oh, I have all this. So she is a strong, independent, empowered woman.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. Most men have realized that if she comes in with wealth, she comes in with mental empowerment issues and entitlement issues, and she's going to use those as markers of superiority over him. Not whatever she's bringing, it's not worth it, guys.
Yeah.
You can be happy with a wife, a good wife, in a 2-bedroom apartment. Or you can be miserable with a rich wife in a mansion who thinks she's going to control every damn thing in the world. Money does not just equally or equate with happiness.
Yeah. Well, and women conflate how much money they have with how much authority they have in the family. I've seen it happen,
Exactly.
and it doesn't work out when that's allowed to happen to the family. It just ruins the family. It ruins everything. Yeah, doesn't matter how much money she has. She's not supposed to be in charge of that money. That's yeah, that was working historically. You can read some novels, you can go back, revisit history, go watch the live streams by This is Shah, our friend Shah. He does talk about dowry, how it was implemented throughout history, and then how it was changing from the dowry society into a non-dowry society, into stupid college degree that where she acquires a lot of loan student debt, and then who's supposed to pay for all of that? So yeah, anyway, let's move on here. So we've covered social media, right? No virtue signaling, no sims. Then she has no single girlfriends or divorced girlfriends.
Okay. Elena, are you friends with any single women?
I know a few women. Some of them,
are you friends?
yeah, but no, not close. No.
Oh, friends. What about your friend Emma?
Well, I'm friends with her, yes, but she's a distant friend. I mean,
now she's a distant friend. Do you sometimes call her up and spend a couple hours talking on the phone?
Sometimes.
Oh.
Sorry, Steve. Keep on going.
So, again, we have Elena writes an absolute here. But then, I get some friends, but not close friends. Well, yeah, try telling that when she's talking to Emma. And I like Emma. She's been on this before. I'm just pointing something out. Yes, you're going to have some friends.
Well, but it's boundaries, okay?
Okay, so the issue is not zero female friends or single girlfriends. It's having boundaries. And what do you do? Do you go out and have ladies' night out with Emma? Of course not, because she lives on the other side of the world.
Yeah. Okay, I will adjust this point. You called me out, Steve. Okay, fine. I'm
having fun because I get to call you.
I know.
Out.
This is okay, guys. We call it fantasy list. Okay, it's something that some points that I have come up with. That would help. That could help. But yeah, it's not perfect. Okay, it needs work. So here, okay, she cooks well. She cleans well. Then she enthusiastically provides sexual variety only to her husband on demand on his schedule.
Okay.
We agree with that one, yes?
No.
Why not?
Where's the quid pro quo? Where is the equivalency here? Now, okay, in marriage, you say your vows. Okay, the vows cover this. Catholic or Christian teaching covers this. Ephesians 5 really covers all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Of course, they're supposed to be exclusive. She's exclusive to him. Guess what? He's exclusive to her. And
Well,
yes,
okay. They
he
both
can
stay
demand.
loyal to
He
each
can
other.
demand.
Mhm.
He can demand the marital duty, the marital obligation from her at any time.
Well, this is
Guess
what I
what?
say, on demand.
Oh,
on his
yes,
schedule.
yes, okay. But what you're missing is she can demand it from him at any time.
No, but she has to have boundaries. She can demand it.
She can demand it, and he must provide.
Not
Just
on,
like when
not,
he
not
demands
on,
it,
not
she
on her
must provide.
schedule. Not on her schedule, though.
Yes. Oh, what do you mean not on her schedule?
Well, okay, Steve, let's imagine you are a husband, you are working, right? You're busy, you're doing something. And I've seen these videos where chicks come, they show their naked tits to their men, and then men drop everything they do. They don't care, right? They leave and then they have sex. They have fun, crazy sex with their wives. So on your schedule, like, she doesn't care what you're doing, whenever she feels like it, and then she can say, well, you refused me sex, so I'm going to refuse you sex. If he's the provider, he's going to expect performance from her, and it's okay if he says no to her at the moment when she wants it, when she asks for it, because he's busy doing something else. He's busy providing for the family. He has a mission that he is fulfilling. He's not his priority.
I disagree.
Okay.
He can get it from her at any time he wants. She can get it from him at any time that she wants. Now, we just have to use some common sense here and give some acknowledgement that people need to accommodate this. If it's too frequent, too unreasonable, the timing doesn't work, can we talk about this? This really isn't working for me. Yes, okay, I'm out here, I'm working on my car, and you come in showing your tits, and you want to have some fun time. Yeah, the answer is yes. The answer is yes, it's your right to ask that, and it's my duty to provide that. So let me finish up here. I'll be done with this in an hour, 2 hours. We will have the time there. And if he's going and asking her, oh, she's in the middle of baking cookies and her hands are full of dough and the kids are crying and it's time to eat and all that. And he says, let's do it right now.
Okay.
Well, first of all, that's absurd. She can say, okay, yes, let me finish this up. I'll be ready and I need an hour or two, and then we'll do it. Okay, they're still saying yes to each other on demand, but they're just being reasonable. We have to assume that people can use some common sense and be reasonable.
Okay.
And you know what? I don't think you're going to be finding too many men complaining about, yes, I'm in there working on my car, and she walks in, takes off her shirt, and flaunts her tits to me. Oh, gee, am I going to complain about that?
Yeah, but
Or
you can
most
say
men-
no. You can say no to her at the moment, and I've seen guys. They
You
just
can
give up
say yes
everything.
to her at the moment and say, give me a half an hour. Give me a few minutes here. You're not saying no. You're saying, yeah. Let me get to you. Yes,
Well,
you're a
I've seen the
priority.
videos where guys just give up what they were doing. He was mowing the grass outside, and then
Oh,
she stopped.
videos. Oh,
Yes, yes.
social
Well,
media
social
videos.
media.
A
Yes, yes.
contrived social situation. We're not basing anything on contrived.
Okay,
Oh,
I
what might
understand
happen?
your point, but like the idea that they are trying to push that, like, okay, if she shows the moment she shows her teeth to him, like he's supposed to give up everything because sex, he needs that sex, he can't survive without it. It fits straight into their message, into the neo-feminist message that they're trying to promote.
No,
he has to give up everything for sex.
this is a contrivance. Women concoct some extreme example and then do it and then talk about it and say, see, it doesn't work and it's a bad thing. And again, they're trying to make rules based on extremes that never really happen.
Okay.
You can't even say that this is a common occurrence. Okay, I'm an old man. It's never happened to me. Gee, do we need to restrict women from say no because of something that's never happened in the experience of most men? I think not. But it
And it might not even be the same day that she's going to get it. She has to deal, She has to deal because a man, if he's busy doing something and then she wants that kind of attention and then he says, no, I'm busy right now. He might be tired afterwards, and then we don't get it at all. It's
I need to prove a point here.
Okay.
They, husband and wife, are sitting down at Thanksgiving dinner with his parents and her parents and all the children. Oh, let's say his siblings are there too. At that moment in time, he has the right to wipe the dishes off the table, take his wife, flip up her dress, pull off her underwear, and fuck her right there. It's his right. Does that ever happen? No. Because the time is not appropriate for that. Okay, people don't do that. Okay, you can have a right, but not exercise it. Prudence says, no, I don't do that. She can have the right to do the same thing at that same moment, and all the families around. You don't exercise it then. You don't claim your right. And that's how people behave. So, okay, rights exist, but there are common sense interior restraints on exercising your rights.
Yeah, and I've seen some neo-feminists are saying to women, you start sex, like you initiate it as much as you can, as often as you can. And then, well, essentially they're trying to love bomb the man, obviously, right? But there will be times, maybe at first he will get excited and he will, do all of those things. But then at some point he will have to say no to her, she will have to be okay with hearing no. And
it doesn't happen.
Or what, men don't say no to their women?
It doesn't happen that a woman is going to be doing what you say she does. First of all, women do not initiate very often. If you think, oh, we have an equal marriage. The man, he's thinking, I've initiated all the time. I wish she would initiate. That's the majority of the case. And so he's got this mistaken idea that she's going to initiate, and she doesn't. Maybe she never does. These cases of women who try to initiate too often, they're so rare that I don't even worry about it. Because in general, women do not initiate. Because it doesn't drive their desires. women want to be pursued. They are generally receptive. In the sexual act, they're the receptive party. And he initiates it. And he, how do I want to say this? He enters and she receives. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that happens. Okay. That's physical. Psychologically, it's the same damn thing. She wants him to knock on the door and say, I want some. And then she actively receives that. She wants to receive his affection. And this idea that she's going to go out and say, I want it and take it from him. Okay, it happens. But it's not something I have to worry about because it's generally not a trait that a good woman is going to do.
Well, even if she does it, let's say, a few women might, they can get rejected at the moment,
Okay, when is she going to do it?
I don't know, like if he's working.
No, when?
Well, some women, purposefully, because they've heard neo-feminists tell them, initiate. They will start, to prove my point, just to
you're thinking with your
and to prove my point, I'm going to initiate it when he's busy working, and I know that he's going to reject me, and then I can use it against him because he rejected my beauty here, Okay,
it's possible. But that's a conniving woman. Most women are not that conniving if they respect the man. They are not going to be that manipulative.
Most women don't respect their men, Steve, in the marriage.
We are talking about a prenuptial agreement that you're negotiating with a woman. And if she's one of those women who Elena is afraid might abuse this, she's going to get so offended by this negotiation that the negotiation is going to fail and you won't have to worry about her again.
Yeah.
Okay, but when does a woman initiate? The typical woman.
When she's attracted to the guy. I mean,
what drives a woman's behavior?
Emotions. I don't know where are you trying to
what
go
drives her emotions?
Her feelings, her desires.
What drives her feelings? What drives her desires?
Like she wants to get benefits of some kind.
Okay, you're thinking with your head. Women are cyclical creatures.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Do you feel the same way when you have throughout your 28-day cycle?
No.
Okay. In your cycle, when are you most desirous of physical intimacy?
Right before. I mean, it depends. But if you... Like, that's the thing, like if you are just circulating around the cycle, and there will be doctors who will say, well, the female hormones, they run her life. They are based on emotions and how she feels.
They don't run her life. But women are feelings based. So after she has her period, now she's preparing for pregnancy. And what is it? Estrogen?
Mm-hmm.
And when she just a few days before ovulation, she is raring to go. She's most likely to initiate during that period. She really wants it. And during that time, she is more desirous of physical not necessarily gentle lovemaking. Let's just put it that way. She's more open-minded, more adventurous, more craving, whatever happens. Okay. Then post-ovulation, her body doesn't know if it's pregnant yet. So she's less likely to initiate during that period of time because she wanted the seed. Now her body is saying, oh, nurture the seed. So she will be receptive to sexual intercourse during that time. Why? By nature, it is
So
to bond herself
men are
with
lucky.
the man.
A married man is lucky if he gets her initiating sex and maybe having sex once a month.
Right. Well, he should ask for it more often, but he should also know to
Why should he
process.
ask for her? Why should he ask for it? Why should he be the one who initiates sex?
Because he's the leader. If he wants it, he should ask for it. If she wants it, she should ask for it.
So if a man is not a leader, he's not going to ask for sex.
He's going to ask for it anyway. You switched this. Why should he ask for it? I told you why. A man is a man.
Okay.
He's going to have to ask for it. If he's not asking for it, he's not really acting like a man. She's not going to respect him. He actually needs to initiate. He needs to lead and
I disagree.
Thing.
Okay, if he always initiates, if he always the one who is hyper interested in sex, and he always wants it, and he always the one who begs her for it, and like tries to initiate. She knows that she's in charge. She knows that she can say no to him at any moment. When a woman initiates sex, he's in charge. He can tell her, no, not right now. I'm setting boundaries. You respect my boundaries. Okay? This is a restraint she needs to have in a healthy marriage. She needs to initiate. She needs to have more desire for her husband than he has for her.
You can say that. It's not going to work that way.
I know it's not going to work that way.
So then why say it? You know what? My point was that a man will do much better with his wife if he understands that her emotions, her desires, everything about her changes week to week based on her based on her hormones.
Okay.
So if you want to have, hold on. Yes, they're not running his life. They're an input, and he's deciding how to behave. So if you want to have some kind of wild sex that includes hanging from the chandeliers, you do that close to her ovulation. You just, you're going to get a really enthusiastic partner at that point. If you're going to demand that kind of stuff when she's, post-ovulation, you're not going to get her enthusiasm. This is reality.
Alpha man would,
No.
the bad boys that women spread their legs for, they will get it anytime they want. They determine when she fucks him, how she fucks him. They set the rules for her. With the beta provider, she's going to chop lay him. He's going to be like, oh yes, sweetie, okay, you don't feel like it today. Okay, let's wait. When you are feeling better, I'll go do something else instead. We
have no data on that.
Well, what do you mean we have no data on that? Like that the bad boys.
Where does this happen?
What do you mean? Where does this happen? Women break rules.
First of all, what percentage of women are on artificial hormonal contraception?
Most of them.
Okay, so most of women are not typical women. Well, typical modern women, but they are not seeing the cycle. They are not seeing this fertility stage, an ovulation. They're not ovulating. They're not sending out those signals. They're not in the mood for some alpha guy to just dominate them and impregnate them.
And
They
yet
never feel that.
Steve, the number of single mommies out there who were impregnated by some chads, it's exceedingly high.
Yes, but you're not finding that's in the past. It's not in the present. That's in her past. It's not in her present. So they're not behaving the way you say they are. And if they are, yes, it might be for ulterior motives to catch a man for provision for other things. But the raw desire, historically, prior to 1960, women behaved cyclically. Now, modern women, do they behave cyclically? Not really.
But you just said that their hormones run their lives. Then how can they?
It does. If it does, it should. If you fuck with nature, hey, what typically happens? A man marries a woman,
yes,
meets her on birth control, then all of a sudden she goes off birth control, and now she may not like him anymore because she wasn't attracted to him when she had a normal cycle. Okay, now she wants to get pregnant, and now, before in their dating life, all the experiences, she was more or less the same the whole time, and it worked this way. Now she's experiencing these ups and downs, and her life is different. So in marriage, generally, birth control is used less, at least the hormonal kind, generally. Or at least at some point, she goes off birth control to get pregnant. Now you have this cyclical woman that you haven't experienced. You don't know what's going on with her. She has no idea what's going on with herself. And it turns into a mess. Because they are not behaving according to typical historical male and female dynamics, because it's been artificially manipulated for most of her life.
Yeah, I understand.
Recipe for disaster.
Yes, I understand that argument that you're trying to make. I'm just saying that she still married this man. Whether she was on birth control or not, it was her choice. She chose to fuck around. Why did she have to be on birth control to begin with? Because she wanted access to multiple dicks.
Yeah.
She wrecked herself, with high body count. Most women today have high body count. They break rules for alphas. Why should I care whether she's on birth control or no? I mean, like she chose to do it to herself. Okay, fine.
Right.
She decides one day she is no longer on birth control. So what now? She's crazy. She becomes more fluctuating and everything, right? Why must it be the man's problem when she can't he's supposed to regulate your emotions, right? He's supposed to restrain her. If he can't restrain her, especially after she decides she's done with the birth control, right? Because she wants to have babies now. He gets a wild woman now that he's supposed to regulate.
He needs to lead. He can't control every aspect of her life. I mean, and you're trying to speak logic here. Well, she did all this and she agreed and blah, blah, blah. And so, okay, great. I have tried to logic a woman into doing what she promised to do. Nick has tried to do that. It doesn't work.
Well, this is why we are talking today about conditions and prenuptial agreement.
Okay, you can have the most perfect agreement, and if she doesn't feel like abiding by it, she's not going to.
I don't care. It's external restraint. women need to be externally restrained from harming themselves and harming others. I don't care what she feels. Today she feels one thing, tomorrow she feels another thing. She removes her IUD or any other form of birth control. She's crazy. She's insane. Who is going to, like, okay, and then like you tell men, wife up this horse, right? Have babies with them. But like men have no legal authority, nothing. They can't say, no, sweetie, you can't do this. This is crazy. You're going to damage yourself. Trying to logic her into doing those things. No, she's not going to. She's going to feel completely different thing that she wants to do. Instead of doing the right thing that is good for her in the long term, that is good for her family, for her kids, just because she feels like it today. I don't care about her hormones. You know what? This is just bull crap. If she likes a man, if she wants to be wifed up by a man, she will spread her legs on his schedule when he tells her. Full stop. And then if she wants sex, she has to deal with whatever he is doing at the moment. This is the hierarchy. This is the hierarchy that we are talking. He is leading. He is in charge. She's subordinate to him. She's a helpmate. She's submissive to him.
Let's assume she promised all this.
Mm-hmm.
And let's assume he says, okay, let's go. I went and I got our agreement and here it is. And it says, you have to do this. So let's do it. And she says, no, not now. And you can't make me. But you agree, blah, 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 blah.
Filing for divorce. That's it. You are done here. And a man should be able to leave her without question. Because she violated the agreement.
Most
remember, guys, it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy agreement.
Most men are not going to do that. And, too bad your husband is not here.
I wish
Does he ever have to deal with you when you just get this pig-headed idea?
Mm-hmm.
And does he say, okay, that's it, out of here? No. He talks, he realizes there's emotions going on. He has to understand your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably, Nick says spankings. That might be the best way to control.
I agree with
emotions.
Nick. I agree 100%. She needs to be disciplined. Okay, we will get to that point, guys. It's in the agreement there. Okay, here Nick also says, a man just wants to get laid. He manages what he can. Yeah.
And he's better off knowing the circumstances and not asking for chandelier, hanging from the chandelier sex at a time of month that it's not going to happen.
Yes, use some common sense. I mean, but at the same time, it has to be on his schedule. She has to comply. She has to comply with his schedule.
Well, she has to say yes, because she said yes in his vows, and he has to say yes to her if she demands the marital debt.
Not on her schedule, though.
Yes, it's equal, both sides. I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, no, I disagree.
Okay,
well, we can talk about it later when Nick is back and my husband is back, maybe next week. Yeah, we can come back to this topic. I disagree with that one. No, it has to be on his schedule. Otherwise,
okay, we can disagree.
It's equal, and then there is no hierarchy there. Okay, let's see here. She does a mandatory paternity test to prove each child is biologically his. If not, he is not responsible for her and her kids with another man. He can leave or divorce her with no questions asked, and her dowry is withheld from her for her violation.
Sure. I mean, obviously it needs to be reworded, but okay, in essence, you have the point.
Mm-hmm.
And if she refuses this, what's she planning on doing? Why would a reasonable person who says they're going to be faithful and claims to have always been faithful be an obstacle for proof of their fidelity? Why would a reasonable person do that?
Yeah. Well, it's safe to assume if she says no to that, the child is not his, because then why would she say no to this easy test? You know, it shouldn't be a problem. If you were
Oh,
loyal to
she's
your
going to
man,
say, well, just by you asking shows you don't trust me. And to prove to me that you trust me, you need to withhold this demand. So she's trying to flip the script onto him. He needs to say, well, don't agree. To prove that you've been faithful to me, you need to, we need to have this test done. And if you're unwilling to do that, that basically indicates to me that you've not been faithful. So
yes.
do you want to prove your fidelity or not? Don't allow her to flip the script on you.
Yes. Well, if it's in the prenuptial and if she doesn't agree with that, then there is no deal. Like, she has to agree to doing the DNA test beforehand. So yeah. And then she takes care of his biological children without complaining. Okay, so then she helps them with homework, homeschooling. Like you said previously, she irons his shorts. She does other things to help him with work. Then she helps her man with everything she can help. Okay, can you scroll down?
Yep.
So we agree on those things. Okay, cool. Okay, a little up.
Up.
Okay. She fully okay, so here she respects her man. She never screams at him. She never humiliates him privately, in front of kids, or publicly. Agree, right?
Well, kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
You can put this in the agreement. Again, it's just an agreement. Women are going to behave like women according to the structure and the boundaries that have been placed within the relationship.
Not just within.
He's in charge.
External.
He's going. Okay, he's going to have the boundaries. And yes, I guarantee you, every woman at some point is going to violate this. She's going to get out of control at home, highly emotional. She's going to scream at him. Have you ever screamed at your husband?
Occasionally, but it doesn't.
Okay, it happens.
I'm not perfect. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. But then
okay, fine. I agree. I'm not trying to say make you into a bad woman. The agreement doesn't guarantee behavior. And she is going to do something that embarrasses her husband publicly or sass back to him in front of others. It's going to happen. Then he needs to not take out the agreement and say, you promised to do this, you were out of line. No, he needs to pull her aside. He needs to show her he's in control and say, you violated the boundary. And here's the consequence. What kind of consequence does Nick recommend?
Spanking. Yes. Yeah, I 100% agree. So yeah, even if she gets out of line, discipline, boundaries, and spanking. Okay,
and now here's the key.
Oh yeah, I actually mentioned it here. Look, Steve here. Sorry. Here, she embraces spanking and discipline imposed on her and their children by her man without recourse.
Yes. Now, and I don't think this is a bad thing, but men have to understand this. You don't want to be brutal. No, this is not to control. This is not punishment. Primarily, maybe a little bit, but it's to show that you are dominant, that you have things in control, and no, you're not pleased with this. So you're just showing your dominance and that you're in control of the situation, and you're administering something that is rather mild. May hurt her, it doesn't harm her, and it's not a brutal, and you don't do it out of anger. And then once it's over, what should you do? Hug her and tell her you love her. So you imposed a boundary. Yes, you screwed up. You're not a bad person. I'm not withholding my love from you after this. And okay, then let it go and everything goes back to normal. She is not threatening the relationship, and your displeasure in her or with her doesn't threaten the relationship, and she continues to receive the love, because what's driving her, she is deathly afraid of losing a man's approval and his love. So you have to reassure her of love after the discipline. And okay, you do this with a child too. A child screws up. Your kid screws up. You impose a punishment. Then are you mean to that child after that? Or do you say, no, this is because of what you did. I still love you.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's do better tomorrow.
Okay.
And then you wipe it out of your head.
And then
You don't want to control. You don't want to control every. You don't want to control every aspect of your child. You want to instill in them self-discipline and impose boundaries so they can make better judgments in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to control every aspect of their life. You don't have time for that shit. Neither do you have time for that shit with your wife.
Control. I'm just saying that she has to embrace all of this discipline that's coming her way, and then embrace the consequences for her own actions and consequences for their kids without recourse. So yeah, all of that. And then okay, embrace a man putting her back in her place with all means possible without recourse. So that this could involve physical, financial, emotional, spiritual abuse, that women say, or restraint and boundaries imposed by her man without recourse. So she can't say like, yeah, I agree with these terms right now, but then when that actually happens, she can't take it back, because she has agreed already to these terms. Like I said, women are not desperate yet. They're not going to sign this agreement, guys. We are talking about like maybe 10, 15 years from now, when they become more desperate, and then they will beg men for bailing them out and fixing things for them. So this is when men can start executing some of these ideas, maybe. So yeah, women are not there yet. Okay. So shall we move on, or do you want to add something to this, Steve?
No, we can move on.
Okay, let's move on. So yeah, she has to embrace all of this discipline and consequences that her husband is imposing on her for her own benefit. Okay. Then she lives on a limited monthly allowance to buy things for the family. Okay. So yeah, it's not unlimited. She gets a monthly allowance. Okay, and then she doesn't get access to their bank account. I think you mentioned that one when we talked.
Well, yeah, there's a distinction here. Based on many divorced men. Oh, especially Christian men. Oh, yes, we have joint finances. I trust her. She trusts me. All our accounts are joint. Dumb idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's what happens. A woman starts to lose respect. Then she develops contempt for a man. Then she becomes rebellious, and all bets are off then. So the man needs to have his paycheck going into his personal account. Always. Because everything gets screwed up if she decides to divorce and closes the accounts, and then he's left penniless. No, he needs to have his money. Okay, this isn't withholding from the marriage. No. His duty is to provide for the family. So from his account, which is his safety, his account of provision, then it goes into some kind of joint account.
Mm-hmm.
So the expenses can come out of that. And she can have equal authority in that account. And they both jointly have agreed upon what can be spent out of there and where the money can go. But giving her unlimited access to his finances is a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. So basically, he has to say no to her if she wants to buy some things. It's like, no, too much, too expensive. You can't do that. Deal without it.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
he can say, well, this money has gone into the joint account. These are the funds that come out of the joint account. You can, you have $500 a month, $1,000, whatever the number is, to spend however you want without any accountability. You're responsible. I don't care. And I can do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you want this thing that's $12,000. Well, the answer is no. We're not rebudgeting our money for you to provide this. If you want it, save for it. Again, he's kind of saying no, but a man just needs to apply principles, boundaries, things she previously agreed to.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's too much work to decide every decision.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the moment, based on feelings. No. Establish the principles and then apply the principles. This is what smart managers do.
Yeah.
You don't want to invest hours in deciding every decision. You set up guidelines, generalizations, stereotypes. That's how you judge life. You have a generalization about how women behave. Does it fit there? Yeah. Are there exceptions? Okay, let me just consider the exceptions to determine this case. Does it meet exceptions? Should I look at it differently? Or should I just do the simple thing and apply the stereotype, the generalization? Boom, I'm done. Decision took 30 seconds. Doesn't take 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, she's not in charge of finances and money. She has limited amount that she gets, to buy food, groceries, like some maybe other things for her, like beauty products, not excessive, but
What?
like no artificial nails, no like hair salons and all of that.
It comes out of her discretionary spending if she wants to do it. And if he agrees. I mean, for instance, I detest artificial nails. Absolutely detest them.
Yeah.
Any woman that has artificial nails and wants to be my woman, not going to happen. You got artificial nails, pack your bags, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like nails on a chalkboard. It just shows you're lazy and you're worthless. And you know what? I don't want a delicate woman out here. No, if you need to go out and weed the garden, I don't want you complaining about your nails.
Mm-hmm.
It does nothing for me. So I just say, no, I'm not. You can do whatever you want, but if you want to have long nails, you're going to do it without me.
Yeah, true. Well, and the same applies to I don't understand the functionality of eyelash extensions. Honestly, why? Why would you even bother?
To attract men.
Fake human here shows nails. Yeah. How did they use this phrase? Flown out, blown out, thrown out. Here you go. All of this artificial beauty enhancements Yeah, constant facial procedures, facial surgeries, all of that. Yeah, okay. Nick here says, no, Steve, it's less than nothing. It's money wasted and excuses for not working. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I want no part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, we're not budgeting money for your nails.
And eyelash extensions and other crazy stuff that that they do. Yeah. It's not, but then they will say, but I have my own money, my own business. That and see, this is why a man should be in charge. Even if she has business, he should take business decisions, or what kind of expenses they cover, what doesn't cover. He should get paid for taking those decisions, because she can't manage it. If she spends all of her money, what I've noticed a lot, they can afford all of those things. And I did mention it in my article, the previous article that I wrote on my Substack, where even if a woman says that I can afford all of these beauty procedures myself, I need a man to pay for the basics. So he's going to be her slave. He's going to pay for all of her survival bills, while she's wasting money on this stupid shit so that she can be a better public whore for some simps on social media and then find his replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then some women will say that, well, I pay for my basic needs myself. I need a man to buy me all of those things. I need him to invest into me and to spend money on my nails, on my hair, on my all of those, beauty procedures that I want. Now, this crap has to go. There is no budget for all of those crazy things. And some men, wealthy men who can afford to waste money on this stupid shit, and women will want those men. The competition for those men is very high among women. But the average guys who just want to protect their resources, and I would even suggest that this kind of agreement, it's not necessarily even prenuptial agreement, but these are the standards that men could impose on their women when they are considering women for marriage. Because right now you are poor, you don't have money. Then you start living together, you start acquiring resources, you are becoming more skillful, more like your worldview expands, like you become more experienced, right? You get paid more over time. Then yeah, and then the lawyers will say, well, prenuptial agreements make sense only for men who are wealthy, who can afford all of those things. And the gold diggers also say, like, why do you bother with prenuptial agreements when only wealthy men can afford all of those things that we want? No, these are the conditions for every single man out there who wants to get married today. Just think about it, gentlemen, and don't give women what they want. So these are the approximate standards. You can come up with your own, but I think we have a pretty solid list here for you to consider. Okay, then what else? So she can't spend too much money without his written permission. Yeah, put everything in writing.
I'll be back in 1 minute. Continue on.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Then this one is clear, right? It's self-explanatory. So she's not allowed to spend any money, especially big expenses, if he doesn't approve of them. No, she has no access to the bank account. She can't spend a lot of money on the furniture that she likes, that she wants, the super fancy, expensive stuff. Okay, she has to get your permission, and it must be in writing. Okay, and then the man is in charge, and he makes the final decision. So, yeah. And then in case of divorce, 100% of custody goes to the father, the patriarch, which automatically cancels child support. So she doesn't get to use the kids after they break up, because all of this alimony and child support, the state benefits from separating the families, and she's using her kids as a weapon against their father. She can't do it. The man gets the automatic custody for his kids, whether he wants it or not. Some men may not want it even, but the automatic custody should go to the father, not the mother, because then it would cancel the child support that a man owes to the woman. And then she gets no alimony after divorce. So if she wants out, she's out. She doesn't get paid to leave him and destroy her own family. She can leave, but she won't get paid. And then whatever a man or husband has acquired during or after marriage stays with him. Steve, are you back?
Yeah, give me another 5 seconds.
Okay. And then if she wants to leave for whatever reason, she can leave, but she doesn't get kids, she doesn't get paid any spousal support. Her dowry is withheld from her for non-compliance. If she cheats, her man can leave and divorce her without any questions asked, without paying her anything.
The whole point here of these last three is you have to reduce or eliminate the cash and prizes that she thinks she can get in a divorce.
Yeah.
And traditionally, if you're marrying a Christian woman, clearly the husband is the head of the wife and children. If he's the head, the children primarily belong to him. And she, along with him, can jointly raise those children. But there's a direct ownership line, property line to the children. Her property line to the children is dotted. And I'm using property in a theoretical sense.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to use that because the Bible actually includes that concept. The wife belongs to the husband in a more direct manner. The husband belonged to the wife, not so much. We really shouldn't look at it that way because there's a hierarchy: God, husband, wife. So it's a direct line down to the wife.
Yeah.
The wife has certain expectations of the husband to do for her. He has duties that he must provide for her. Those duties are an obligation to God, primarily. And if he's following God, he's not following his wife. He's not performing duties because of her. He's performing duties because of his obligation to God. And she is now following her husband because God said so. God doesn't get to communicate around the husband and tell the wife how she needs to control her husband so he can better serve God. No. That line of authority, God directly to wife.
Yeah, well, here somebody left a comment. Women have their own relationship with God. She will learn on her own. Yeah, right. Good luck with that.
Okay, that's not biblical.
I know. Yeah. It's the violation of that hierarchy that Steve mentioned. First God, then a man, then a woman, then children.
And women, feminists, think this is oppressive. To that, I say bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the way God designed men and women. And a man grows up with this innate understanding that his duty is to protect and provide. And the man, okay, the husband and wife relationship is similar to Christ and the church. Christ died for the church. The husband, in most cases, understands that he will die for his wife. He will go to war. He puts his life on the line. He will work his ass off to provide for her and his family. He's putting his life on the line. It's just an innate thing. So to think that this hierarchy is oppressive to women, hey, your husband is like Christ. And Christ is willing to die for you because he loves you. And your husband is willing to die for you. If his love and protection requires his very life, most men say, yeah, okay. It's what I was made to. I got broad shoulders. I was made for this. Am I complaining about it? No. How God made me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the money, this is why women shouldn't have direct access to the money. Because every time they do, they are trying to violate God's design and hierarchy. They think that they are in charge. They get to demand the performance from men. But I make my own money. I have business. My dad, I inherited this business from my family.
And it's a spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a woman under a good man who's providing leadership, dominance, boundaries, not cruelty, and who loves her and is providing and all that, this is a secure place for a woman. She feels content. As long as he's actually allowing her emotional variability, okay, and when it gets out of hand, okay, too much, but he's still loving her through that. Okay, that's a place of security. Now, if she has contempt or disrespect for her husband and she doesn't feel secure, she's going to try and grasp control for herself. And the more control and effort she has to put into that, the less secure she's going to feel because she's not protected and provided for. And when she feels less secure, she wants more and more control. And the more and more control will lead her to more and more discontent and dissatisfaction with the husband who's not protecting and providing and putting boundaries on her. So it's a spiral, and she is going to make bad decisions. She's going to be miserable. And that's why the red pill has this meme of she'll end up with box wine and cats. And that's why so many women are on SSRIs, antidepressants, because they're trying to do things that are a man's job, a man's duty. Women were not created to do.
Well, and see, what the neo-feminists are saying, yeah, we agree with all of that. We agree that we were not created to do the men's job. We want men to provide. We want men to take care. We want men to fulfill their masculine, traditional, biblical duties, right? But then they are not willing to give up anything, any of those feminist freedoms that they got, like alimony, child support, the automatic custody, to name a few. They're not willing to give up their careers, right? They're not willing even to give up their businesses. Like, okay, you want a man to provide for you, then why do you own business? You're not supposed to do that. And this is why I made that point at the beginning, that if she owns business and if she wants to be a stay-at-home mom, she can't have a cake and eat it too. She has to prioritize what's more important. She can't do both.
Or is the list you have done, is it for secular people or is it for Christian people?
I think it could be for both because it's the same law for both for secular people and
Yeah, well,
for religious people.
let's add one for Christian
Okay.
women. She has to publicly display her submission weekly.
Oh, they already do it, Steve. What are you saying? They need to virtue signal more?
No, not virtue signal.
They are already using social media to
No,
show how
not
how
social
awesome they
media.
are. Okay.
Now, for Christian people, I assume you're going to church. She must wear a head covering in church. It's not optional. And yes, she's going to be maybe the only woman in there wearing a head covering. She is publicly displaying her submission to God and to her husband. The head covering. Oh, and then other women are going to criticize her. Oh, they're going to talk about her. Dip, 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 dip. Okay, now this also demonstrates that she is more concerned about what her husband thinks of her than what the old biddies think about her. She is willing to show her humility in public. The head covering is showing her humility before God. And the husband, he doesn't have his head covered because he is standing before God as the protector and provider. So he's demonstrating his role. This is highly symbolic. But the symbolism and the act of doing something, it can make a big difference. Now, have you ever seen a woman in front of the church reading the gospel, preaching, or in the Catholic Church, giving out the Eucharist? Have you ever seen any of those women wearing head coverings?
No.
Have you ever seen a woman in a leadership role wearing a head covering? Okay, there's something profound about this.
Yes, and women are not even supposed to preach the Bible publicly on social media. And
you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about that. If you teach her, you wear a head covering. Now, acting.
Well, they can act upon it, Steve. They can put a head covering. The fact that they are allowed to preach and teach in church, this is wrong.
Yes,
you're
missing the point.
We recently went to a church where a woman was reading the Bible.
Yes, she's a rebellious woman. The point is, you don't care about those women. Men don't care about. Forget about that. Nothing you can do about that. Your woman should wear a head covering. And if you get your woman to wear a head covering, she's not going to be gallivanting around up in front of people.
She might. You will see those rebellious women will start putting a head covering just to prove that they are better than
Okay, until that happens, I will believe it's not going to happen.
What do they do with
they will not do it. It's
Bible?
It's completely out of character.
Yeah, I know, Steve, but analyze female behavior. What they do, they realize that, okay, men say this, okay, they say this is what they want. They want us to wear head covering. Let's just put lipstick on a pig. We will start reading Bible in decollete, big boobs falling out of our chest, the lace straps and everything. Let me just read the Bible for you guys, okay? And then...
okay. Have you ever seen a woman wearing head covering coming to church and showing cleavage?
I haven't personally, but I won't be
I'm
surprised.
saying
I
it
won't be
doesn't
surprised to
happen.
see
And
it.
so your argument, well, it could happen. Okay. Until I see an example of it
Yes,
happening, I'm going to
I.
assume that the head covering, the act of her putting that on, basically prevents it. And if she wants to
Humbles your.
behave like those other
So
women,
you're
the
saying that
first
if she
thing,
just okay, if she just
the
puts a
first
head
thing she's going
covering,
to do is what?
okay, let's say more men start talking about, ladies, you need to wear head covering. Ladies, wear head covering in church. They will start adjusting those things slowly over time as they get more desperate. Okay, this is social adaptation. We've seen it happen before with the Tread Wife LARP, church ladies, gurus on social media. They are doing it. They are doing exactly
Okay.
what you tell them to do. Okay, they will put the head covering on. They will still preach the Bible publicly. They will do
No,
all of those things.
no,
Mhm.
no, they will not. What if they want to preach if they want to get up and preach or read or get up in front of a group, what will be the first thing they do?
Take off the covering.
Yes.
I'll be curious to see how it plays out, honestly.
Hey,
I don't
you know
know. We're
what?
just speculating here, guys.
We are speculating.
Hmm.
We've never seen a woman assume a leadership role while wearing a head covering. Well, maybe in the Muslim world, that
I
it's a
have proof, actually. I've seen it on social media. There were women who were wearing floral dresses and they had head covering and they were still preaching, and she was like, oh, brothers and sisters. In fact, I remember I sent that video to you guys. I shared it in my stories a long time ago on
she was
Instagram.
a Christian woman or a Muslim woman?
She was a Christian woman, and there are other examples like that. She was just the only one that I remember. She was blonde, she had her head covering, and she was preaching Bible just like any other neo-feminists on Twitter or elsewhere, preaching Bible, quoting Bible for us. Yes, all they do,
Okay.
they adjust one visual, superficial thing that you want them to adjust. You think that just because they wear head covering, they will not they won't have the power to preside. No, the law has empowered them. You can't take it
Let me
away
point
from
something
them.
out here. Let's assume I'm right, generally right. And Elena came up with, well, I saw one example of it didn't work. Therefore, does that cancel out my point of what is generally true? No, it doesn't. It's still generally true. Doesn't mean it's 100% true.
Well,
I mean,
Steve,
it's absolutely true.
it might be even shifting to the direction that for women to assume the camouflage that you want them to assume, because it's all superficial. It doesn't involve the change in the legal system. All you are asking them to do is put a head covering. Many lipstick on a pig women will have zero
No.
trouble with putting a head covering on. I predict we are going to see more women after today's show. Give it a few months, okay? Things start analyzing content. I will do the same. We will probably see more women on social media wearing head covering now. Since we've mentioned that and we dragged that point out and we've been talking about it, yes, we will see more women wearing the head covering who are still in charge, who are still telling men how men are supposed to man up, wife up this horse, follow the biblical standards that they want men to follow, cherry pick the Bible. They will keep doing those things. For women, changing and adjusting slightly their appearance is not a big deal. In fact, I'm going to make an Anita episode where she will wear the head covering in church, just to prove the
Okay.
point. Mm-hmm.
There's an ancient saying that counters what you're saying.
Okay, what is it?
I'll add it to stage here. Well, oh, I guess I have to remove this. Remove. I'll add it. Sure.
these are just the superficial attributes. I know that they have a deeper meaning for men, for Christian men, but for women it doesn't matter. It's just appearance. We change it all the time.
Okay. This is lex orandi, lex credendi. The law of what is prayed is the law of what is believed. That's the Latin phrase. Okay, in its abbreviation, and it can be expanded. Lex orandi, lex credendi, lex vivendi, which is the law of what is prayed is what is believed, is what is lived. Okay, so how am I applying this? I want to scroll down here. Okay, right here. Supplicandi and credendi are gerunds, which are oblique cases of the infinitive. So supplicandi, that means supplication.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you pray or worship God, you are supplicating yourself to God. So if the way you pray, worship, supplicate yourself to God or to your husband, okay, what you do physically reveals how you believe and how you will live your life. Therefore, by the woman putting on the head covering, she is supplicating herself to God, to her husband, which affects what she believes in her mind and affects how she lives out her life. Now, is it possible she can put on the head covering and then still do whatever she wants and live however she wants? Certainly, it's possible. But in general, it doesn't work this way with most people. The act of doing something and showing your supplication is an act of submission.
Okay, Steve, then
and
what would
revealing
you...
yourself publicly to be this, and then you go out and be something else.
Let's talk about,
inconsistent.
Based on this logic, let's talk about the trad wives. You know, they believe what they do. So are we supposed to believe and buy into their manipulations and those traps? And like, look, they promote the traditional family values. They really believe what they do. Does it mean that what they do is authentic?
Are they wearing head coverings?
Where, at home when they are cleaning?
Are they wearing head coverings when they worship God?
I don't know that, but
okay, we don't know. So we have no data points about these women.
But even if they did, okay, even if, let's assume they wear the head covering, the fact that they expose their chesticles on display on social media, cook nice meals starting from scratch, you know, like showing their kids on social media, I just don't see how they are related.
You are looking for absolute black and white magic bullet. This isn't like that. If she wears a head covering, especially if it's not commonly done, and she's doing that when you go to church, she is demonstrating she is a submissive woman. While she's wearing that head covering, she's unlikely to be in front of the church. Okay, so there's a benefit here. When she comes home, it could be, this whole thing could be an act. And she could still be out here flaunting herself as some trad woman. Yes, I admit it's possible. The head covering is not a magic thing that's going to cause your wife to behave. It still doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Oh, because I've seen some women do whatever they want, regardless of whether they wear it or not, it makes wearing it immaterial. No.
I'm not saying, look, did you hear me say that head covering is a bad thing? No, I'm just saying
No.
that women are going to take it, and they're going to take it to their advantage and use it against men, because men think that just because a woman is wearing a head covering, she must be sincere and she must be genuine about her submission. You put all of these reformed church whores, you put the head covering on them, they will still preach their bullshit because they're still empowered, they're still allowed to do all of that crap. And then, like, what? It's just a misleading red flag for men. Like, just because she wears a head covering, then she's submissive. No, she is not, because your behavior suggests otherwise. There are other factors to consider there besides the head covering. The head covering is a superficial thing that will get a few religious men, I think, because they will ignore, and
It's
we
not.
will see
No,
more women will
no.
start wearing the
It's-
head covering.
It's
Mhm.
not superficial.
For women, it is. It's
It is
adjusting
not.
slightly my appearance.
It's profound. And here's where what I'll agree with. There is no such thing as a self-managed woman.
Mm-hmm.
So she's wearing a head covering. Great. That doesn't mean she's self-managed. Oh, I found a unicorn, a naturally submissive woman that I don't need to manage. No,
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. She's still going to need to be managed. She's still going to need the husband's leadership. She's still going to need boundaries. She's going to need the husband to be a dominant, benevolent man, to be the leader. And if he thinks just because she's wearing a head covering, he found the unicorn and he can just sit back in his easy chair and relax, it doesn't work that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he needs to correct her behavior if she starts stepping out of line. But he needs to give her a hug for when she behaves properly too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Just because she adjusts a few things, even according to the Bible, women will use and twist it and take it to their own benefit. Especially as we are headed into crisis, there will be more desperate women. They will start implementing some of these visual, superficial suggestions. They will always do superficial, visual first. And then when that doesn't work, they have to get really desperate before they will want to give up, before they will want to consider this agreement that we talked. No, that one. Okay. Previously. Yeah. Before they can even consider that. But we are still far away from that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of women, they don't experience the pain yet. They still think that they can camouflage, they can adjust a few superficial things. This is why when we talk about their appearance, and look, they are dressing, a lot of women, they are dressing up pretty modestly, just to hide who they are, and because it appeals to men. A lot of traditional men are talking about, like, well, you don't dress like a whore, right? Okay, so what's the first thing that she adjusts? Well, I'm going to buy a floral sunflower dress, put it on, because it's not that revealing, right? The next thing you will see them is removing their fake nails, fake eyelashes, and hula hoop earrings. We've seen it happens even to these reformed 304s that are in church. Then what else will they do? Modest makeup, like the superficial things. They will even put a head covering on. I'm telling you guys.
Yes.
For women, it's insignificant. It's just a minor detail that they can include into their appearance.
Are you telling me that women are manipulative and will use any means they can think of to manipulate men?
Oh, yes. Well, you don't think so?
I do think so. So, guys, that's why you have to remain vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have to have boundaries, and why you have to be in control. And you have to sometimes discipline your wife to say, no, we're not doing that. I love you, but no, you're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And don't ever think you got a self-managed woman.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody left a comment here. Christian conservatives are a dangerous bunch. Well, they allow women to get away with all of the bullshit. Yeah. They are simping for these women who slightly adjust things. The
Now,
women like Lily Phillips or Nola, well, let's just jump into the saint water and then pretend like nothing has happened. Our past doesn't matter. Yeah.
so my question here is this comment mean that you and I are a dangerous bunch because we're conservative Christians, or we're not conservative Christians? We're talking about this stuff that conservative Christians are uncomfortable talking about.
Well, I think this is the second, but I'm not sure. Yeah, please specify.
Okay.
Yeah, what are you accusing us of something, or yeah?
It could go either way, but
Yeah.
what I'll take it the latter way. Conservative Christians, we've talked about it many times. It's a LARP.
It is a LARP. Yeah,
It's a live action role play.
playing.
And we've said the trad wives, it's a mask. It's a cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a LARP. It's if it's not in their genuine intentions and behavior doesn't match, and they're putting on this facade, this mask of how you want to see them. That's female manipulation.
It is female manipulation. The next
She'd
one
rather be seen as good rather than actually be good.
being good. Exactly. Yeah, and the only reason she can be good is when she's being restrained by her man and socially by laws. Look, not all men are going to be capable of restraining their women. Most men are not dominant men. They need the laws to change in their favor so that they can impose some restraint and boundary. And in fact, women would have more respect for these men if that happened, if the laws actually changed in men's favor. Right now, when women are allowed to do whatever they want to do, they have zero respect for men, and they get away with whatever bullshit they want.
The laws will not change to make it easier for men.
Oh, of course not.
The laws will change in response to societal changes.
Mm-hmm. Well, women get more desperate. Women will ask for the laws to change because the more men refuse women right now, they already don't get wiped up by as many resourceful men as they wish they were. So women become more desperate over time, and then the women will be the ones who will push for all of these changes. We are just kind of accelerating it here and playing out what could happen, and then when that happens, this is the possible response for men. Okay, you women, you want us to wife you up, you want the commitment, you want to be taken care of, you want to be a stay-at-home mom or whatever because you lost your business, you lost your income, right? These are the conditions. So start preparing for them right now so that you have a small chance of getting a man in the future. It's proactively trying to change the laws in anticipation of the upcoming damage. But in order for us, like my husband says, in order for us to really learn the lesson, we have to experience the pain, the real pain. And we are not there yet. Women are not desperate yet. They will get there. They are already getting there based on the feedback that we see on TikTok, on Instagram, how many women are complaining, whining, how many women even are promoting, well, just give him some respect, some loyalty, some peace. just love bomb him, throw sex at him, initiate more, right? All of these neo-feminists who are pushing that, just focus on that, ladies. Focus on what you can give him, and then ignore all of the other freedoms that feminism has given you. This is why all of these pro-mommy, pro-family content creators who are pushing like higher birth rates and everything, they don't want to change the laws. But until the laws change, men are not allowed to execute any natural and legal authority over their women, because they don't have the legal authority over women.
So how is this going to change? I'm just laughing because we have a data point.
Okay.
Elena is a data point. You've listened to this whole stream. She is more, you gotta put laws and restraints on these women. And I'm more, well, yeah, that's a quid pro quo. And yeah, okay. And she is more strident on this than I am. But here's a woman advocating that all women just need these restraints. Okay. And if you watch YouTube, okay, I don't know that other women are as strident and opinionated as Elena, but a lot of women are moving in this direction.
Yes, they are. They are asking.
And when women are desperate, they are going to buy into this message, and they're going to say, please, please restrain us. In fact, I've heard some say these whole protests in Minneapolis are women going out and protesting because, those dominant icemen might put me in my place. There's some unconscious desire.
Yeah, they want to be dominated.
Is it true? I don't know. But
their behavior suggests, okay, when we look at how kids behave, and women are not that different from kids in terms of behavioral patterns, they try to push how much they can get away with, and then when a parent comes in and says, no, here is the boundary, you can't do this, you can't get away with it. And this is what women are doing. They, by going on protests, they are asking men to come and take that power away from them, restrain them physically. We've seen Donovan Sharp used to do live streams. I don't know if he does them in that mode that he used to do them. You analyze the videos by police officers, the women who get out from home and then they start doing crazy things, they get arrested. They want physical restraint from those law enforcement officers, right? They want that kind of restraint because this is chaotic female nature. It always asks for restraint. And the more unrestrained they are, the more of that restraint that they need. The harsher consequences must be applied to those who are even more rebellious and misbehaving.
Okay, I'm going to ask a personal question here. When you're kind of in need of some attention or some dominance from your husband, unconsciously, might you sometimes act a little bit like a brat?
Sometimes, yes.
Oh, in order to get the dominance, it's not a conscious decision. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I understand what
I'm out there. Does he care? I'm going to push his boundaries.
Yes.
And boom, he's going to say no.
No.
And then, okay, then I get the boundary. And now, okay, I know where the boundary is, and he still loves me. Okay, I'm happy now. I'm content. So women will do that. Children will do that. Yeah. There's nothing aberrant. This is not a psychological problem. Yeah, this is normal.
It's normal. It's normal female behavior. If she what do we expect? Okay, like we can call them crazy, but they are insane. They are, and I see the neo-feminists who, by the way, use all of the feminist benefits that feminism gave them, and then they criticize feminism. They criticize these crazy chicks in Minneapolis, Minnesota, right? And then they say, well, but those women are so nuts. They are batshit insane. I'm like, you don't see the craziness within yourself, because all women are that. We are all capable of being crazy. We are all designed that way,
Yes.
without
And
restraint. Without restraint. Look, my husband, does he impose restraint on me? Yes. Is it as much as those women will need in Minneapolis? Probably no. It depends. But
okay,
like
let
it
me
depends on what I do, you know. If I don't humiliate him and embarrass him like publicly, he doesn't need to execute that much restraint on me, because I understand that that kind of behavior is not appropriate, right? But
right, but
it still
mild
needs to be there.
mild restraint then does the job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nick and I have some similar experiences. We were both physically abused by our wives. And because they were just batshit crazy. I mean, my first wife was arrested for assaulting me, scratching me, hitting me, knocked my glasses off. I wore glasses at the time. It was bad. The amount of restraint that I would have had to use to control that woman was way beyond what is legal. Nick has similar stories about his wife was batshit crazy, out of her mind, doing shit. I mean, crazy shit. Shit like you see these out of control women. Yes, a woman in a marriage can get that out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, the amount of restraint that a man would have to use on her is so excessive that it
Most
just
men,
cannot be done.
it's not legal. It's not legal.
It's
That
not
kind of
legal.
spanking
But
that she will require. I understand. Do you remember the taming of the shrew? We actually did an episode.
yes,
We did a live stream on it. How did Petruccio restrain Katarina? Well, he used all kinds of tactics, and he tried them. And you know, back then, when it was still possible for a husband to do, you know, so what would she do? Like, she would run away, and then she would have bad reputation for like ruining her own family, right? No, she had to live through it, and because of that, he was able to beat that toxic attitude out of her. Like, literally, like physical restraint, emotional, financial, even food. He didn't he was keeping her hungry sometimes.
so at the end of that story, was she better behaved?
Yes, she
Was
was a
she
great
more
compliant
content?
woman.
Was
She
she
was more
more
content.
content?
Yes, she was.
Well, so it actually was for her benefit.
It was. Yes.
It turned out great. Okay, well, is that reality or is that fantasy?
Like in terms of like a practical application of this whole thing, the restraint.
If men were allowed to use the restraint required,
No, I
would it
think
make
this
the
is,
world a better place?
I think this is reality. I think that a lot of women would be in a far better place when their men were restraining them, and men in general, even social restraint. So in the case of Petruccio and Caterina, during the times that William Shakespeare wrote this comedy, right? There were social restraints. There were moral principles imposed, shared common moral principles that were executed upon, that people were following. So if she misbehaved in some way, like, yes, she was a rebellious, contentious woman before she married Petruccio, right? But even during the marriage, but what other options did she have? There were no other options given to her. Nobody else agreed to wife her up. And even then, he agreed to wife her up because of her dowry. Traditional setup worked out great for her and for him in the long term. Yeah, she was a handful, but in the end, he made her the woman that he wanted her to be. He made her a better woman. He made her a better person. And see, women need restraint. Without it, we are just feral. I don't know where I would be if my husband wasn't around restraining me, honestly.
Do you feel secure?
Yes. Because I know that if he restrains me, he cares for me, he loves me, he does it because he loves me. He looks after me for my future benefit, you know?
Are you living on pins and needles every day, worried about offending your husband?
No.
No. Do you get a lot of freedom to feel and behave how you want? And if you go a little bit too far, okay, there'll be a
There are
boundary
limits,
there.
boundaries.
And
Yeah.
then, okay, he still loves me, and oh, I'm still provided for, and I still feel secure. But I have all this freedom under this broad umbrella boundary. So is it oppressive? Are you on pins and needles, worried about offending your husband?
No. It's like
Okay,
why
well,
would I even
it's
worry about frustrating him, you know?
so it's a safe place. It's a safe place to live. That's why the boundaries are not you don't have to fear the boundaries. The boundaries are a layer of protection.
Mm-hmm.
And you have all the freedom to live within your boundaries.
Yeah.
And if you went outside of the boundaries, well, damn, I've seen from other women, those other women who are out of bounds, living out of bounds, they're not really very content and they're not loved. And okay, you know what? Let me go back to my place. Keep me in my place. Please keep me in my place because I like this place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's better to be restrained by a man than when you know that he takes care of you. Well, yeah, you have certain limits that you can't do, right? Certain things that, but if you want marriage, if you want a family, then like, look, we live in a society. We are limited by law anyway. With what we can get away with, right? It's just a different level of limiting what's allowed in the marriage and what's not allowed. And based on the hierarchy, men are given by God. They have more authority. They have the authority over women. They have authority over children. You can't equate men and women. They are not the same. They don't have the same authority. And they shouldn't. Men are the ones who are in charge. Women are submissive. You do what he says. It's not that difficult. But it will be difficult for women who think that they bring money. This is why money was never passed through women, because the moment it hits a woman mind that she is capable, she is strong, she's independent, she can do all of those things by herself, it wrecks her. Then she is not submissive to her man. She can't be, because but I have my own money here. I don't need to listen to him. I know what's best for me. No, you still need to listen to him because you are not in your place when you don't, and you're violating God's hierarchy. You choose this man, you submit to him fully.
Or not. You don't, women, ladies, you don't have to do that. You have free will. You can choose to submit to one man and be under his protection. You can get all the benefits of that, or you can choose not to do that. Or you can choose to act like you'll be that and then get married and then control the man.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen independent women very happy over the long term.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you look where that path is going to take you. And if you choose to do that, fine, go ahead. You have free will. Or you can choose to get married and then be one of these nagging, controlling wives. But again, I have not seen those women be very content with their life.
Mm-hmm.
Always complaining. Their emotions are out of control because their man has no ability to put the boundaries on them and say, enough of this crap. Slap her on the ass and say, that's enough. Okay, so you can choose, you have the free will to be that kind of woman. Women have free will. Your free will is your agency. So you can choose whichever one you want.
Mm-hmm. But there are consequences to each one of them.
Yes, well, let's say there are outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
Outcomes may be consequences, but they're outcomes. If you choose the strong, independent, single woman, you're going to have the outcome of a strong, single, independent woman. If you're going to choose the role of a nagging wife, you're going to have the outcome of a nagging wife. If you're going to choose the role of a supportive, submissive wife, well, you're going to have that outcome. But there are no guarantees in life. Men don't have any guarantees of outcome. Women don't have any guarantees of outcome.
Mm-hmm.
There are probabilities. Just because you don't get the outcome that you desired, okay, well, sorry to inform you, life isn't fair.
Mm-hmm.
You can do all the right things, and it still didn't work out the way you hoped it would. Okay, well, that's life.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing is a guarantee. Yeah, but in general, if women want marriage, commitment, and children from men, these are your conditions, ladies. What are you willing to give up to get what you want? Why should men wife you up? Why should men give you children when the law is not on their side? And I don't care. You can pretend, you can act, you can adjust a few things. You can even wear this head covering in church. None of that matters. Nothing is going to change reality for men. And for you too, unless the laws change.
No, wrong. I disagree.
Why?
Because a man creates the reality in his relationship.
Okay.
He doesn't create the guarantee of the outcome, but he creates the reality. And if he sets the boundaries and the way they behave, again, what was it? Gotta pull up that lex supplicandi, the rule of supplication, the rule of prayer, the rule of how you're doing things, leads to the rule of belief. Okay, her mind will coincide with what she's doing, and then that will coincide with how she's living. So if you understand this, this is like a key to your happiness. To men,
Mm-hmm.
you set the reality. This, a red pill term? What's a red pill term for this, Elena?
What you said, the reality, the mental point of origin, or I don't know what are you
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about. Okay.
Frame control.
Frame control. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Red Pill talks about frame control.
Well, okay. What is frame control here in this example that we gave you today, guys? We gave you the conditions under which you can consider marriage. Oh, I mean, not. I'm not going to tell you what you can do or not
Those
do.
are
Suggestions.
It's in your attitude
Yeah.
and what in your boundaries.
Okay.
And if you're the strong man who says, hey, this is the way it is, don't care. We're going to apply these principles. I don't care. I don't care. This is how it's going to be.
Yes.
I am defining this. You can come with me. It's my life's adventure. I would love to have you come along with me on my adventure. Or you don't have to. It's your free will. It's my frame, my life, and I will provide for you well. But no, this is not a negotiation for you to say, well, I want this and I want that. No, okay, I'll listen to that, but here, it's got to abide by the principles.
Well, these principles, they are essentially changing law because
no,
men
the
don't wipe up.
Are in how she behaves towards me right now.
Well, right now she can put a mask on to get you, and then she wipes you up, and then she stops behaving that way.
So, it's true. That is true. You're giving women credit for being more deceptive than a man is for being perceptive.
Well, this is why it's in men's favor to change the laws.
It absolutely is, but it won't change. Don't focus on changing the laws.
Why not? Why can't we focus as communities so that other men can have?
Because it will happen when the time is right. When reality changes, the laws will change to reflect reality.
Well, but then for the few men who want to get married, who want a family, why can't we provide? Okay, guys, here are our suggestions. Try to include these points into your prenuptial agreement. At least.
Okay, sure.
This is the least you can do to protect yourself.
Yes.
Why can't we say that?
We can say that.
Oh, okay.
And we can also say the prenuptial agreement is no guarantee. First of all, if you don't practice frame control, the prenuptial agreement loses effectiveness. And even if you do practice frame control and she changes her mind and you're in certain states, the prenup could be thrown out. Could be.
Yeah.
So it's not a guarantee, but it's a good thing. And getting these because you're going to have some intense discussions with her, getting these things aired out, finding out how she believes about this, how she acts, whether she will agree to it. You are getting so much information about the character of the woman you are considering marrying that why would you not go through the prenuptial process? Because it is like the last point of vetting to see what she will agree to or what she rebels against. And you're going to gain so much information and be open and understand her reactions to this are providing you raw data on how she actually believes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And also for most men, it's just safer to stay away from marriage and wait until women become more desperate. This is actually something that would have a higher impact, higher societal impact if men don't deal with women, do what the MGTOW guys and the black pill guys are doing. Stay away from marriage, don't deal with them. Maybe watch porn, it's available for free, right? So that women become more and more desperate. And then they will start pushing the law change because it's unavoidable. It's coming, guys.
Well, we need to close this out.
Yeah. So this prenuptial agreement is for those who, despite all of the evidence against marriage and kids, still want to get married. These are the things for you guys to consider and think about. I don't recommend marriage personally, but I'm a woman, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm observing female behavior. I analyze laws, how they are designed against men. Even if you have prenuptial agreement, it's not a guarantee. So why would you risk it? And then if you have kids, it will complicate everything even more. So what do men get out of it? They don't get, right now, they don't get automatic custody. And this prenuptial agreement, by the way, what we propose, like Steve said, it's not a guarantee because it's also the case law. What does the law support? What do the judges assign? Okay, 70% of custody still goes to the woman. She wins. And then you are left without the legacy of your kids. So it's your choice. It's your choice. I highly encourage you not to get married and having kids right now. I don't think it's a smart decision for men, honestly. If I were a man, I would be single and without children. Maybe I would watch porn because it's free and it's available out there.
Okay, men are still going to go for women.
Well, yeah, true.
Okay, so
many will.
Guys, what kind of man do you want to be? I'm going to say there are two types. There are the men who are willing to spank their women, and the men who are not. And yes, the laws, you can't do that. So if you're that type of man, you're not going to do what's necessary. So part of the vetting process is, how does she react? So if you wait until after you're married to give her a bare ass spanking, maybe that was a bad choice. If you give her that before you're married, she could call the cops and all that. And you're going to have some shit to deal with. But it is nowhere near the shit you're going to have to deal with if you marry the wrong woman. So my advice is,
Steve,
give her a bare ass spanking before you get married.
You're giving men the idea that they can find a unicorn and marry the right woman.
No, I'm not. There are no guarantees. What kind of man are you? The man who takes charge and deals with things, or the man who hopes and prays and is all following the rules and I have to be nice to her and then she'll love me. Fuck you.
Well, even the men who take charge, there is only so much charge they legally can.
No, you know what? I just said it. Do what's necessary. It's not against the law to spank your woman.
She will, well, if she's married, she will deem it as physical abuse.
Could, not will. Could.
Well, okay, how many men? Now we are talking about
It's not, okay, there are people, okay, we live in a wild world. There are the whole BDSM community out there that does this, and they have agreements, and people want it, and it's out there in public now that a lot of women's fantasies are including being dominated and some mild impact play. Okay, this is sexual expression. Sexual expression is out there. Now she can spin it and she can throw it back at them. Then you go into court and
it's like domestic
we're having
violence.
fun. I spanked her.
Okay, Steve,
fun.
I have a question. These BDSM communities, do they actually marry women or do they just spank them?
Domestic violence is whatever she says it is.
Yes.
And anti-Semitism is whatever the Jew says it is.
Yes.
It's undefined. If she wants it, and there are all kinds of women who want it. So there's no.
They want it, but do they?
I'm not talking controlling her. It's a test.
Okay, Steve, I have a question. You haven't answered my question here.
Okay.
About BDSM community. Are there married couples who are in the BDSM community, and how does it work out for them? If there are any.
You know what?
Married
I've
couples?
read about this. I've not participated in the community.
Okay.
But okay, my second wife, yeah, I spanked her before marriage. We played around in that area mildly, nothing severe, nothing in public, nothing in the community with others. We didn't join any clubs. This is very common. So this is absolutely practiced in marriages. Oh, 10 years ago, there were two kind of Christian communities taken in hand, and domestic discipline and Christian domestic discipline. And there were forums talking about this. And it is the amount of sexual expression that goes on within a marriage. And everybody, no two people are the same. We all have our so-called kinks, things we like. Okay, these are all normal. They're very different. They're not the same. A lot of stuff goes on in people's bedrooms. So, okay, you know, if she doesn't like any of you taking charge, and you're the kind of guy who thinks you have to take charge, you best find out of that before you're married. Because, oh, yeah, you get your hand slapped. But if you find out after you're married in the divorce, you get enslaved. Ask Nick. Is Nick a slave? Is he an indentured servant?
For after what he did? Yep.
No. Well, what did Nick do? Nick did nothing. She divorced him. He is now an indentured servant.
Yeah, because she falsely accused him.
Okay. Let's assume prior to marriage, he would have spanked her like 20 times. And she would have had a bruised and sore ass and went to the police. And they would have come and arrested him for domestic violence. And then they went to court and they said, oh, did you do this? And I said, oh, yeah, I did that. And it was all in fun. No, we don't believe you. You did this. You now have to spend 15 days in jail and your fine is $2,000. Oh, this is so terrible. So terrible. But he just avoided the next 10 years of being married to a woman and all the hell that he went through there and losing everything. So which is worse, finding out early or
I agree with you there, Steve. I agree with you there. Okay, there is an interesting comment here because I did ask this person, why wouldn't you marry a woman who is into BDSM community, right, outside of marriage? So we talked about this community. It's out there. Women are looking for it. They don't want men to do it to them in the marriage, but they want it elsewhere, right? So they go there. And then I ask him, why wouldn't you marry one who is into BDSM? And he says, because she's trash. It's okay to have fun with her, but this is what it is. I tend to agree with this person. If she doesn't agree with spanking and discipline and all of those things that we've talked about earlier today, then she's for trash. She will still get dominated by the chads, who will fuck her, but then she's for recreational use only. She doesn't want to do it with your husband. Bye.
Maybe. I don't agree with the assumptions here. I don't agree that these women in the BDSM community, theoretical, because I have not met any, okay? But I don't agree that they are less likely to go to heaven than the women in the church. Sorry, I don't agree with that.
So what's your point? Like,
My point is, you know what? Everybody does what they do. And I cannot judge on mere one data point of superficial things how it's going to work out. I have to judge a person on talking to them and their behavior in discussions and how they react on an ongoing daily basis. If I go into, let's say I go into the BDSM community and find a woman for that intent, what kind of woman am I choosing, selecting? If, on the other hand, I happen to meet a woman in regular life who has inclinations or desires towards that, big deal. Maybe it's too far if she's participating in that. Okay, but if she has those inclinations, fine. If I meet a woman in life who's Christian, but is charismatic and into the type of Christianity that I think is ludicrous, okay, I like her because she's Christian, but I won't consider her because she's Looney Tunes out there.
Mm-hmm.
A matter of degree.
Okay, so she can be in the DSM as long as if she's not against spanking in the marriage, then you would consider her.
Something like 70+% of women have fantasized.
Can't hear you well, Steve. Sorry.
Something like 70% of women have fantasized about being spanked.
Sure, yeah.
Something like 50% or more have fantasized about more, well, being tied up or more stuff. Like 30%, I'm pulling these numbers out, but they're probably not far, have fantasized about being with another woman. The amount of desires out there blow your mind. So the fact that a woman is into certain thing, it doesn't disqualify you. Men have all kinds of crazy desires too. There's a difference between desires and having restraint and discipline over your desires. You can't always control your thoughts. You can't always control what you're attracted to. You have to evaluate a person based on their behavior, by talking to them, by understanding what are their core principles.
Okay.
You can't apply a checklist to this.
This is what women do when they talk to men. Oh, okay, he meets this checklist here. Yeah. Well, in a way, based on these conditions that we've given men today, we kind of gave them the checklist. You know, I'm okay. They are a shortcut. Okay, obviously, you have to pay attention to other factors as well. But, you know, men could have a checklist too. Just saying.
They could, but men don't operate that way.
Maybe for their own detriment.
Maybe they're not going to change.
I know. Yeah. I mean.
Oh, checklist. Oh, little head going up. All good.
Oh my gosh. This is okay. This is why you need a checklist. Well, not need, like you might want to consider having a checklist besides that one. Okay. So you don't just rely on what your little head tells you. Yeah. So yeah, the best risk mitigation is not to take the risk here. Nick says only way to win is not to play. I agree 100%. Yeah. The marriage in the end, even with the prenuptial agreements that get shredded all the time, it's still
they get shredded less than 100% of the time.
Well, okay.
About 30% of the time.
Yes, but with how the law is designed at the moment, the odds are not in men's favor still. So,
No, they're not. But you can improve your odds. You may not be able to improve them enough to make it a good decision, but you can improve your odds.
how? By implementing some of
Well,
this.
the prenuptial includes it improves your odds
Mm-hmm.
because it removes the incentives or the ease that she can get cash and prizes. One thing. It improves your odds because you had some serious discussions about this and you laid out how you're going to live your life. And if she couldn't stomach this conversation, you got all pissed off at her, she got all pissed off at you, and you didn't get married. You improve your chances by requiring her to wear a head covering in public in the church to demonstrate her submission to you in public and her submission to God. That improved your odds. Every little good decision you make improves your odds. Oh, you spanked her before you got married and gave her a hug afterwards, and you didn't get hauled off to court for DV. Okay, you just improved your odds.
Yeah, I'm asking Lost in the comment section. He's asking if we are lawyers here. No, we are not lawyers. Okay, we are not
No.
lawyers. We are just talking about laws based on data and the observations of other red pill men. So yeah, and the possible changes in the law that could benefit the family.
Yeah.
This is what we are doing here. Yeah, I would love to
Yeah.
actually have a lawyer on the show if we could get a family lawyer to talk about some of the practical changes that could be implemented even in the prenuptial agreement, and what are the odds of it being maintained in the case law. That would be interesting. If somebody even in the red pill community did a show like that, I would love to watch it. It may not be us because we are not big enough. Lawyers may not want to talk to us. Although you guys at some point, do you remember on the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel, you had 2 lawyers, or maybe there was 1 lawyer where you were talking about the rights that people have. That was an interesting show. I did a lot of shorts on that one. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, laws are against men that walk. Yeah, sadly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And they will be for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. You have to get unemployment or disability to beat child support. My body paid $20 a month in Maine.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just crazy. It's like the whole system is against man. And even I would love to see the practical applications of our suggestions for men in the prenuptial agreements, the points that could be included. But what are the odds of them even working in the current system without changing the
No one will ever know.
Yeah.
Because no one is wise enough to implement these things before they get married.
Mm-hmm.
Or very extremely few people.
Yeah.
So there will never be enough data on if you did these things. And then we'll check back with you 10, 15, 20 years later to see if they work.
Mm-hmm.
That data will never be gathered because it doesn't exist. It can't exist. There aren't enough people out there aware and doing these preventative, basically prophylactic actions.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not. We're not going to find out. You're going to have to Just choose, do it or not do it.
Yeah. Okay. Nick here says, okay. Sorry, Nick, I missed your previous comment here. If you are the breadwinner and doubt to get a divorce, make sure you get fired before the divorce. Yeah, so that she can't milk you. I mean, like, what's the point even? This is why coming back to where we started. What's the point of marriage for men? It's just enslavement of men. They don't get any custody. They don't get to talk to their kids, only maybe on limited schedule whenever she feels like it, right? Everything circulates around her. And then she poisons your kids against you over time. It may not be even her directly. Some women will say, but I don't say anything against my husband. No, it's not just her, it's society, it's everywhere. Social media, big media. The fathers are superfluous because they have zero legal authority to execute upon their natural authority. They are easily replaceable. The woman can leave, she can ruin her life, the life of her children, the life of her ex-husband, not that she cares.
Well,
And-
that's absolutely true, Elena. But you asked, what are the benefits for a man?
To have a wife.
Yes, I'll tell you what the benefits are. In my first marriage, you get starfish
sex.
about 8 times a year.
Yeah, congratulations. You won 10 cents in the lottery. How often do you get to see your kids, Steve?
What, in the past 20 years?
Yeah, 0 times. Gentlemen, learn from the mistakes of other men. Yeah. Why the thread wives, the threadcon LARP, they desperately need men to need marriage. Watch my language here. They need men to need marriage so that they get wiped up, so that they can destroy you later in the divorce court. Take half of your shit, half of what you own, take your kids away from you. And then, like, marriage is such a great deal. I don't see anything great for men there. And because there is nothing great for men, there is nothing great for the patriarch. There will be chaos, disorder, destruction in the family. It's bad for the kids. I'm concerned about the kids' well-being. One of the reasons we don't have kids with my husband is you look around and it's just crazy. The world we live in right now, it's so unstable.
Okay, Elena, you got to kind of bottle it in here.
Yes, let's
You've been
wrap
at
it
it
up.
for 3 hours. You got to save some of this passion for the next stream.
Okay. Yeah, we can do a continuation on this topic. We can talk about the options that men have today if they want a wife and children, what options they have, what they could do. But I mean, my core suggestion is not to get married and not to have kids. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, yes. This is a good one. CPF. Do you remember CPF, Steve?
I came up with it. Yes, I know what it means.
Cost
Do you
per
want me
fuck.
to explain it?
Well, explain it. Yes.
The cost per fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Your marriage goes bad. And you end up paying child support and alimony, and she gets the house. Okay. All through the marriage, you were providing certain dollars per year, and you got laid a certain number of times per year. Now, you get divorced. The number of fucks is fixed.
Mm-hmm.
The cost keeps going up.
Yes.
So retroactively, if you calculate the cost per fuck, it keeps going up for the next 18 years.
Yeah. Nick says 8 times a year return on investment fail.
Yeah.
Here we
I'm
go.
glad
Here is
Nick-
your cost per fuck, guys. Cost per fuck. After divorce, incrementally going up. Yeah, because you are on the hook for alimony and child support until she finds another sucker, right? Or somebody else wipes you
Or
off.
depending on the state.
Yes. but also well, in most states, right, we are talking about
No, it's whatever's in the agreement. I
Mm.
had to pay alimony for 10 years.
Oh, 10 years. Okay. Okay. Well, is it, yes, okay, alimony 10 years in Steve's state. Then child support, it's until kids grow up, right? 18,
It's
21,
until they're 18 or
18?
graduate from high school.
Okay.
But in some states, until they're 21 or graduate from college.
Wow. Wow. This is brutal, guys. And you don't get to even dictate any terms. You don't get to say how your kids are being raised. She brainwashes them. She poisons them against you. They hate your guts. You're just a mule. You pay for everything.
Yep. You're an indentured servant. You're a slave.
You are a slave. Marriage is enslavement. And in today's system, marriage equals divorce too. Because she is paid to leave you. She is paid to take you to the cleaners, take your kids away from you. You get nothing. Yes.
So let's cut this off now.
Yes,
You still have a lot to say. Let's bring Nick in. And he can make more fun of me on the next stream.
Yes, yes. We definitely missed Nick today. My husband said that he would pass on this live stream. I was hoping Nick would be here so that we could bounce off more ideas and talk about my fantasy list here. But
can we? Oh, please. Can we do another stream where I can find out more about Elena's fantasies?
You want you want me to come up with another fantasy list? Well, then you have to give me
I'm just trying to do simpy behavior.
I know.
To find out more about your fantasies.
My goodness, I'm glad I don't have a lot of Sims on my channel. Like, guys, I say it, $100 per simp. This is the minimum amount we should charge every woman on social media. Then you calculate how many sims she has on social media. She gets charged for it. Seriously. Yes. More sims equals also higher body count, high probability of higher body count. Just keep that in mind. They do it for a reason. They do it because it works. They occasionally get lucky. Yeah. Anyway, guys, okay, we're going to wrap it up here. Next time we'll have fun again. I hope that we'll have Nick and maybe even my husband. And what are you doing on Wednesday, Steve, on the Resurgence?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. You'll come up with a topic. Anyway, it was fun today. Thank you for your comments, guys. Thank you for your questions. We appreciate your feedback. Let us know what you think about my fantasy list. No simping, please. I usually ignore simpy comments. I don't react to them. So, yeah. And we'll see you all next time. Remember to please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. Share this video with other men who are considering marriage. Okay. And we'll see you all next time. Join us on Wednesday at 5:45 on the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel. I'm sure that guys will have an interesting topic there as well. And we'll see you all next time. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
We've really got it all, and you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar, the best place on the internet, the very best by far.